printing is definitely a kind of like a sunset industry. I want to bring more awareness to people about what the print industry is like, and bring them back to the touch of paper again. Yeah, because I feel like as long as there's someone out there that still appreciate the touch of paper, someone that still appreciate tangible thing, there will be a demand for such workshop. Yeah.
Hi everyone, it's Gabrielle, your host for We Are Not Ordinary. Today I'm joined with Marcus O, who is also the founder of Print and Matters. He's both a inspiring designer and paper artisan. And today he's going to tell us a little bit more about the transformative potential of paper offcuts and how we can potentially turn something from waste into a product of sustainability as well as beauty. So Marcus, how do you feel about joining us today?
I feel great.
Nervous?
Yeah, kind of.
So I'm now going to get you to introduce yourself, as well as to tell me, if let's say a customer comes through this door now, what is the experience that they can expect at Print and Matters?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Marcus. I'm the founder of Print and Matters. Here at Print and Matters, we teach people paper making workshop in just 3 simple steps. So using upcycle paper waste, we turn it into handcrafted paper so that people can use it as like gift card, for bullet journaling and packaging whatsoever. So that's the whole idea of what Print and Matters is about. Yeah.
So what do you think makes a Print and Matters workshop different from the other workshops outside? What kind of experience do you think you can give your give your customers such that they can replicate and find this experience elsewhere?
I think it's the whole idea of sustainability and upcycling. A lot of the workshop you pay to maybe just to do an artwork to bring back home as a souvenir. But I think here at Print Matters, we want to encourage people the idea and introduce the concept of upcycling using paper waste. So maybe a little bit about myself. My family business, we actually do offset printing and packaging, and I think not long after COVID hits, I decided to join my father company to see how I could actually learn the ropes of what it's like working in a printing factory. And then it is where I realized like a lot of the times when we print client jobs, we often print it in large sheet of paper, like A1 size, but client usually maybe only use like A3 or A2, and then that's where you get a lot of cuts, just thrown away. So here's where the idea of upcycling these offcuts into stationery products, and also I thought of, during COVID, a lot of people cannot travel, and more millennials and families are into workshop. So why not teach them how to upcycle all these paper waste into handcrafted paper? Yeah.
So on that point about handcrafted paper, right? Understand that this is not exactly what your family business actually focused on.
Yeah.
So the paper making itself is an entire process, it's a step by step.
Yep.
How do you learn this craft? Is there someone who exposed to it, or was it something that you kind of came across in school?
Oh yeah, so I was from like an art school. I studied arts, from LaSalle, and then I've been doing this like my whole life. It was not something new to me. Like I think maybe for some of you guys during art class, you guys might have been exposed into paper making as well. But I think there was this time I was in Japan. Then like I was very inspired by the crafter and the paper makers there. So I thought like why not let's bring this to Singapore or even teach people. Yeah, like out there even on TikTok or like Pinterest, there's a lot of like DIY ideas on paper making, so that kind of like inspired me, to start this whole paper making thing.
So it's with the very excess paper that you have from your dad's company, together with the inspiration that you got while traveling.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So these two things just came together, and there is definitely synergy between you and your dad's business, right? Because he does printing, and then you take the print waste and you turn it into something more.
Yeah, I guess that was the initial driving force of why I even started this. Like I didn't expect it to turn it into like a workshop business, but I just wanted to see how I could actually bring print relevant again in this today's age, where people are just so tech savvy, everything, is like, we are just living in this digital era,
Yep.
so printing is definitely a kind of like a sunset industry, and I wanna bring more awareness to people about what the print industry is like, and bring them back to the touch of paper again. Yeah, because I feel like as long as there's someone out there that still appreciate the touch of paper, someone that still appreciate tangible thing, there will be a demand for such workshop.
Then, what success stories have you come across? I mean, have you introduced so far? Like, what have you achieved in terms of, you said that print is now recognized as a sunset business, and it is a digital era, right? So with print and methods in place now, what kind of, let's say, new trends have you introduced, as well as what kind of different perspective have you introduced into the print, or rather the paper industry?
So interestingly, I think I have a lot of customer that comes in. They're all from different background. Like you have like artists, illustrator, even like home bakers, like different, everyone from different walks of life. And it's just so amazing when you combine this group of people together in a workshop. There's like an exchange of ideas. Like I have seen like one illustrator that came here, and then after the papermaking workshop, he met a new friend. She was like a preschool teacher, and then they just had like a collaboration right here, So more than just like a workshop, I think this platform also allowed exchange of collaboration work with different people from different profession. Yeah.
So now I'm going to put the attention back on you. So in terms of, let's say, collaborations with print and matters, are there some recent collaborations that happened?
I think one of the recent one that we did was for a makeup brand. I think one of the agency approached us, say they wanted to do like a flower paper, like a series of like flower paper. And then we, just so nice, I managed to find a florist, which happened to be one of my customers. And then they supply us with some of like their dried flowers. And then we just use that dried flowers and make it together with our paper for this brand. Yeah, so it was actually quite cool, pretty amazing, because all these like flowers is also like kind of like thrown away, and the auntie was like, I'm gonna throw it away anyways.
Yeah.
So to me, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Like why not just use that flower,
Yeah.
and make it, since that is what the client wanted.
Yeah. I think it's awesome, right? Because that's not only what the client wants, but that's essentially where the value of your brand lies, which is pretty much at the root of sustainability. So would you say that your entire business is inspired by your family business?
Not so much. I like design and arts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think I also hold the hat of being a second gen, having to take over my father business. So I kind of have to fulfill that role and had that on my shoulder. So to me, that is my way of incorporating my passion, what I like, and together with my responsibility and commitment, I enjoy it together to what it is today.
That's very nice. I think you're very lucky. So
I call myself fortunate.
Right, it is right, because you can actually, there is a business there, and then you kind of put what you enjoy about the things that you do and learn in life, and then kind of integrate it together to make it into a business that you so love, right? So I believe your family business is not something that is of a stranger to you. So you would have dabbled and went around it for a while. Like you kind of understand how the family business is being run, right? So what are some product as well as industry knowledge that you have picked up from your family business that you have actually put your learnings into print and matters?
For print and matters, actually more for print. As in like all this staff and worker that we have kind of see me grow up. So sometimes it's like I really have to step up one notch to earn their respect from them. That was kind of crucial for me at one point in time, because like I had to come in as someone different, of a different role to manage the company. It was not easy, it was very challenging, because it takes like I need to show them that I have that capacity to lead them. And also, but for print and matters wise, my staff pretty much all quite young, more of the Gen Z. So I need to use a different kind of method, more relational method with the Gen Z people, as compared to my father's side, I have to, because it's all uncle aunties.
Yeah.
So I have to like really earn my respect and work my way up.
Yeah.
So there's a huge contrast between two, but I grow along the way. I think what's very important is really, communicating in love. Sometimes when we don't communicate well enough, it might cause misunderstanding or like, yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest thing you've learned as a business that is run by Gen Z for Gen Zs?
I think Gen Z people are pretty creative, this generation especially. But at the same time, a lot of my staff, they really came in with a mentality of like nothing to lose. They are just here to learn, just here to explore and do what they like. And that's amazing because it allows possibility, many outcomes to happen. From one workshop, we created a different workshop to like planner making, paper marbling, etc. That was really cool. And because they are the Gen Z, they know how to tap on social media to create the hype, to create the engagement with our participants. So I think there is definitely that age in being Gen Z, but also the shortfall of it is that Gen Z people don't work hard enough. I guess. Yeah.
Why is it every episode someone will say something that makes my jaw drop? It's like
No, not saying
Please
that. Not
elaborate,
not
yeah.
not saying for every Gen
Yeah.
Z, but like, oh, okay, OT, I need to get paid for. Why am I not getting paid for this and that? Like, wow,
But
scared
you
of offense.
No, but you understand why, right? It's because now you're thinking from
Yeah.
an employer perspective.
Yeah, and it's like it's very hard to hire someone in this day because like all the fresh grad or even like poly grad, they all ask for very high pay. And me being a small business owner, it's not easy to hire. And so I'm really very thankful for all my staff, for all my interns. They are one of the best for what goes behind the scene of Print and Matters. Yeah.
So I do have to say, you mentioned that Print and Matters is still a relatively small business, but I see that you have gotten the hype recently, the hype train in terms of these workshops in Singapore. So what do you think you did right in terms of creating that hype online?
I didn't really do anything. I think it was
How
it was
smart.
it was really I was really fortunate at that time. Maybe because I'm quite quick in catching trends. So like I say, like I think during COVID period that time, I realized like a lot of people are into workshop. Then when I started Print and Matters, somehow Smart Local came and covered our workshop. And because of that, I started to have a lot of families and couples coming in. And then I think through word of mouth, it just kicked off like this. So it was really like, I'm just very thankful for what happened. But I also feel like every song you can only sing once. So like I feel like this song of like this workshop hype is already over. Now I want to venture into something newer and also to see how I can bring Print and Matters into something more than just workshop itself.
So Print and Matters is built on the values of upcycling and sustainability. So with regards to the environment, what are some concerns that keep you up at night and how do you address them in your business?
I think to me, sustainability, the whole concept of sustainability and upcycling is on a personal level and a organizational level. It's really making the conscious effort of recycling, and keeping that whole cycle of sustainability. But that being said, sometimes it's very hard to create something aesthetically nice and yet functional at the same time. So I think this paper making workshop is good in the sense that like not only the customer get to enjoy the whole experience of paper making with their family, that kind of bond, that team bonding that they can have, but at the same time they are also subconsciously they are also upcycling what is once been a waste into something that is new and functional. I think one of our best seller is really the seed paper making workshop, where people actually make paper and bundle seed into their paper, so that after which, even after they use it as like gift cards, to their friends, the card you don't just throw it away, you plant it into a plant or like something else. Yeah, so there's like this whole cycle of sustainability behind. So I thought that was pretty cool when it hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole ecosystem, right? So you
Yeah.
not only manage to reuse the waste from your family business, but also, with the product that is already recycled, you create a new life again, which in this case it can be plantable seeds you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you kind of like give the paper a new lease of life again. You don't just throw away, but you can plant it into a plant. Yeah.
Is there a reason why the topic of sustainability is so important to you?
I think just growing up, I've seen like a lot of paper always get thrown away, in the factory and production house. So it's just my small effort of trying to make this world a better place, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I accept the answer for
Yeah.
sure. Now, can you share with me what are some of your highest high and your lowest lows when running print and matters?
Yeah, so highest high is like what I said earlier, where sometimes you really don't know who actually comes to your workshop and what they do. But then it's through the session that we have and then just talking to them, you get to meet like endless collaboration opportunity. To me, that is a sense of, it's very fulfilling that feeling, because like you never know what kind of things you can create. Like it can be just more than just paper, and maybe through all this like talking with the customer, they invite you to a restaurant for like as a vendor to have a pop-up workshop, or like at their stores. So I thought that was pretty amazing in that sense. Yeah. Lowest low, I think it's because during COVID you cannot have more than like, I don't know, 5 or 10 people. In that way, it was hard for me to earn, because like a lot of the schools or like corporate company, they wanted to do like big event, but because of that restriction, I couldn't
Cater
accept
to
the
it,
job.
yeah.
Cater to that. Yeah.
But now that we're past the whole COVID era, I would think that we are pretty much back to normal. So what are some needs and wants that you're observing from the organizations or the demands that you see from people these days?
I think this year I'm looking to renovating the studio. A lot of customers came in and say very hot, no aircon and stuff. Because actually, if y'all don't know, here used to be like a paper warehouse where I store paper. I kind of just segregate it into a workshop space. So I guess this is one part of the plan for Pre-Matters now. And we'll definitely try our best to make this place more conducive for people to have a good experience.
So I'm very curious, what's next for Print and Matters?
I guess I just want to create a safe space for everyone, to build a community for creatives, to use my upcycle paper or stationery notebooks as a canvas for their creation, or any sort of masterpiece, so that not just coming here for a workshop experience, but after making the paper, they can use it as a masterpiece, a canvas, and create a more sustainable future for everyone. Yeah.
Now that's great. So if let's say I want to start upcycling tomorrow, what would your advice be for me?
Be experimental, learn how to take risks, get your hand dirty, and don't be shy to create things. Yeah, I think that's very important.
I think when you said, take risk, don't be afraid. Could you elaborate a little bit by sharing with me, when it comes to paper making as well, what are some materials that you have used and introduced that people may not have thought of before?
No, actually, on the contrary, I want people to use daily object that can be found easily in their kitchen, their storeroom, old magazine, old books, anywhere. So, even here, we teachers, it's like our workshop is kids friendly. So it's very easy. There's only 3 steps to our workshop. Firstly, you blend the paper into paper pulp. Second step, we teach them how to use the mold and decal to make the paper. And then the last step, we transfer the paper onto a cloth to let it to dry. So it's just very simple, but I think what I meant by be experimental is that don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and like just go and try, go and try all sorts. Yeah, I remember like when I was in school, I will like use toilet paper, I don't know where you tried before, and then like
I use toilet paper, I throw in the sky.
oh, you throw it. Also, you're one of the culprit, right? No, but I used it to make my paper mache.
Yeah.
You know, that was pretty cool.
So thank you so much for joining us today, Marcus, for this episode of We Are Not Ordinary.
Yeah.
So thank you for
My
really
pleasure.
challenging our idea of what upcycling really means and what the paper industry entails. So next time you come across paper waste, please do not throw it away. Think big and think fun. So we will see you at Print and Matters.
Bye bye. We're not ordinary, we are Print and Matters.